One of the problems I have when looking at investing money is that I don't understand how the markets work. I don't really know what's good and bad. I have to feel my way through, and that's why I've been with Austin Smith Associates for a long time. Let's talk about investing in terms of something that sort of makes sense to me. So let's talk about it as far as food and health is concerned.
There's a couple of things I can say about that. I mean, firstly, investing is actually a lot like following a recipe.
Okay.
So you buy a cookbook and you follow a recipe, and we know what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you've got certain things in there that do different things. If you can imagine all the ingredients into a cake, there are certain boring ingredients, and then there's the sugar and the stuff that tastes nice. And so from our point of view, you have to have all of those things in balance and looked at various times to make sure that the cake turns out okay. Because if the oven's too hot or the oven's too cold, it's going to be a complete disaster. This is not to sort of say that you time the market at certain times. This is what we call the ingredients, and in our terminology it would be how you allocate the assets within a portfolio. Because as we know, we've had that conversation before, a managed fund is not managed. People think, oh, it's called a managed fund. The label on that fund says it's managed, so don't need to do anything else because that person is managing it for me. It doesn't work like that. A managed fund has a fixed criteria pretty much, and it doesn't deviate from that. And even if the fund manager thinks that there's going to be a problem coming up, they don't change it, whereas we do. We adapt. And I think being adaptive is probably one of the biggest differences we have. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but we can do it because we're a small to medium-sized business, and our whole philosophy is being proactive and being adaptive to what's going on in the world.